Hi Flosstube, this is Stephanie, the Ivy House Crafter. It's been a little over a month since my last update, so I figured I should probably get going on that. I've got a bunch of stuff to show. It was just never really a convenient time to film, but it is now. The kids finished their school a little bit earlier than usual, and I'm actually feeling not like I have to take a nap. So yeah, let us just jump right in. In my last video, I talked a lot about what I was doing in March, because it was March, and I was doing, I was calling it #LoveMyWhips March, and I was doing where I would work on a different whip every day until I went through all of my whips, and it took 28 days. And so there were 3 that I didn't, that I hadn't gotten to yet at my last video. So we're gonna show those 3. First is this hamster kit from Alisa. It's a Russian kit, and it looks very much like my daughter's hamster, Gingersnap. So here is where I'm at. I added the darker colors that you see. I think I had done a few lighter colors previously, and so this time we added a lot of dark, and there's a lot of nice shading and stuff going on. He's got eyes now. So yeah, he's coming along nicely. And he's just so cute. Okay. I hope this is all in order. I don't know if it is or not. Yep, okay. So that was day 26 of Love My Whips March. Next was day 27, and I worked on Autumn House by Brooke's Books. It's a freebie, and I put in the roof. So this is 28 count Lugana. The color is Haunted. I don't know who dyed it. I got it on 1-2-3 stitch, and yeah, I put in the roof. So all that's left on this is just the trees, and like there's some corn stalks and spider web, and then that will be done. Actually, with this one and Hamster and the one I'm going to show next, which might even be in this, oh yep, it is. I was going to say it might be in this bag, and it is. So with those 3 projects, I'm actually really close to finishing them, and I was going to set a goal to finish them in April, but I didn't. So I was going to set a goal to finish them in May, and I might, but I've got like other projects that I'm really excited about, so we'll see. But those 2 and this next one are ones that I could easily finish very quickly. So this last one, it was a free Blackwork Tangram sale from Lakeside Needlecraft. Yes. Trying to remember which way is up. Okay, so in the day that I worked on it, I finished the orange block. I completely did the pink block and the blue block. So that was a lot of Blackwork stitching and stuff, and I did it all in one day. So all I have left is the purple block now. So that will be very nice to finish and finally be done with this, because it's been years that I've been working on it. Much longer than you'd think I should work on it, because it's such a small, simple piece. Okay, Audrey is very excited. She wants to show something, so come on over here, Audrey. You can, I know. Here's Audrey. I'll show you mine a little bit later, but we did some embroidery, just like backstitch embroidery, and here is Audrey's. She did this dog, and it's so cute. And then I have traced out this fox for her, and eventually she's gonna stitch that fox. But look at that cute little dog. He's so cute. I did the French knots for the nose and eyes, or eye, but yeah, she did all the rest of the stitching for that. Was there anything else that you stitched that you wanted to show?
I'm pretty sure I stitched some more of those motifs.
Yeah, she has a little cloth that she's putting a whole bunch of little tiny motifs on, and I think she put on 1 or 2 more of those, so she's grabbing that out. You bring it over here. I'm pretty sure you did put some more in. Since
Yeah.
Okay, which ones did you do? This one?
The watermelon,
Okay.
the cat, and
so here's her motifs. She added the watermelon and the black cat, and this is going to be cake. It's not done yet, just the 2 rows. So yeah, all sorts of fun stuff on her little motif thing. Okay, is that all that you wanted to show? Okay. So that finished up Love My Whips March. It was Hamster and Autumn House and Blackwork Tangram, all of which I would like to hunker down and finish because I'm really close to a finish on all 3 of those. So we'll see if I can get that done. Next was Antiques 1. And if you remember in my last video, I had stitched nearly 500 stitches and ended up having to frog over 400 of them because they were off by 1 space. So I was determined not to let that defeat me. I didn't want to put this in timeout. So I got it out and worked on it some more so that I could put it away feeling good about what I had done instead of harboring resentment over all the frogging I had to do. So this is one it's really hard to show. It just doesn't really show up. Yeah, it doesn't show up at all. Okay, so right in here, that's area that I had frogged. This is 1/1 on 25 count, and this is very light color, and it's blending in with the fabric like crazy. But so I put in more than what I had frogged over here. Down here, this is part of the bird. And then I decided I was tired of having stitches that just weren't showing. So I started up in a little corner up here, and what I did was I would pick a color, just like whatever was top, and I would do 1 length of thread in that color, just moving down, and then when I was done with that length, I would pick another color and do 1 length of thread in that color. Similar to what Stitchin' Mommy does. So there's some stitches that you can see here. So yay! Visible progress. I mean, I can see it in person just fine, but it doesn't photograph well and it doesn't video well. It's just, someday it will look like what it's supposed to look like. Until then, you just have to take my word for it.
It's like a ghost.
Okay, next up was Mysterious Adventure Project by Ink Circles. And I am stitching this 2/2 on 32 count. I don't remember what the fabric is, but it is what it is. So let me see. Here is the whole thing. It's looking so cool. Just a little bit more filling in to do. What I did since my last video, I put in this mountain and this dragon. I actually accidentally missed a row in the dragon's tail, and so it's a little bit shorter than it's supposed to be. So like this is the correct length of tail, and so this one's just a little bit shorter, but you can hardly tell. And I put in this fortress-like building. I'm not sure exactly what it is. It's a building, and when my husband creates a D&D campaign for this, once it's all done, he can choose what that building is.
It looks kind of like a castle, actually.
Audrey says it looks like a castle. So yeah, that is Mysterious Adventure Project from Ink Circles. Jeff just gets so excited every time I get it out. I don't get it out nearly frequently enough for his tastes. But I have so many other projects that I'm working on.
I guess it looks like he has a little white mustache.
Yeah, those will be gray stitches eventually.
And eyebrows too. It's so cute.
Yeah. Okay. Next, I worked on this, flashing the pattern, this sampler. It was one that I won in a giveaway from Michelle Bendy Stitchy, and it's from Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, March, April 1991. So it's like 30-year-old pattern here. And if you remember, this is one that I had started on this natural linen, and it was just uneven. It was not squared, it was crooked, and I did not like it, so I restarted it on white Aida. And I should have restarted it on like an even weave so I could stitch over 2, because there's a lot of fractional stitches. I'm making it work. So here it is now, and what I did since last time, I put in the peppers here and all of these borders. I have received the green that is missing in some of this, so I will be able to finish the stitches and then do the back stitching on this, so that will help that to come to life and really look like what it's supposed to be. So that's a fun one to work on, except for all those fractionals on Aida. Anyway, next is Pandemic, and this is, let me get out what it's going to look like. This is by Long Dog Samplers. And I am working on page 7, I believe. It's not the 7th page I've worked on. I did pages 1 and 2 and 3 and 6, and now I'm working on 7. So what I did is all of this area down here underneath this rabbit motif. Look at the screen so I can make sure that it's getting centered. So yeah, all of this stuff down in here. And as I was stitching it, I realized that I made her skirt 1 stitch too short, so she's a little bit shorter than she's supposed to be. So I had a little bit of frogging to do because I had based something off of, I think I had based this off of her instead of this part, and so it was off a little bit, so I had to redo it. But I'm not going to restitch her. She's fine the way she is. Short women are beautiful too. So that is Pandemic so far. This is 2/2 on 32 count. It's called Nature's Dance by Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. Different Stephanie, not me. Okay, and it's a big piece of fabric, and I'm gonna fill almost the whole thing. Okay. Next, I worked on the 2021 Linen and Threads Mystery Sampler, Talavera. This is January through April. May has been released and it goes right here. I just haven't printed it out yet. So what I did was I finished the center border. I stitched April and I started the left border over here, column. So I wish I had something to hold behind this. Maybe. There we go. I am stitching this 1/2 on 36 count. The color is Dolphin. I think it's Weeks Dye Works, and the floss is DMC 06. So that is what I have so far. A lot of people in the Facebook group are doing this in very bright colors. because Talavera refers to, okay, I'm going to get it messed up, but it's some type of Latin American brightly painted pottery. I should have looked it up and checked beforehand, but it's beautiful, and I love all of the very bright colored variations that people are doing. I chose to do a more muted, obviously, and so mine it's more lace-like and much less like real Talavera, but yeah, it's still very beautiful. It's a lovely pattern. Okay, oh, I like this one. This is from, I have this book that I bought at a local museum, the Pioneer Memorial Museum Samplers, and it has all the samplers that they have at the museum. I've talked about this before. This is Mary Alice Cannon. She is my 4th great aunt, and I am stitching a reproduction, sort of the sampler that she stitched. I got permission from the museum to do so for personal use only. And I have been working up a storm. Oh, it's just so exciting. So what I'm doing is I'm using my DMC color card to help me pick the colors, and I'm not doing 100% great. Some of these colors, as I stitch them up, I'm like, that doesn't look like the original at all, but that's okay. I am enjoying the process, and here's what I have so far. Isn't she beautiful? So I started out with the carnation border, including, I don't know if she just didn't stitch those stitches right there, or if they wore off and they're just not there anymore. And these all look the same length, but they are not. And I had to go through and chart the differences in length and stitch them. So it's not very easy. But, and I tried to get 4 colors that matched the fabric fairly well, or had faded to the point where they matched the fabric. On the original, I got colors that match the fabric really well on here. Some of them you can barely even tell that there's something there, but there is. And I got A through G of the eyelet alphabet. It goes through to the letter, let me remind myself. It's not the whole thing. O. Okay, so it goes all the way to the letter O, and then that's done. And I got the 2 lowercase over 1 alphabets. And then as I was looking at the picture, I realized that I had missed, while I was charting, it goes 1, 2, 3, also over 1 in very faded colors, so that I could barely even see it, but they're there. So I'm going to have to chart and stitch those too. And then I started the over 2 letters for the quote. The uppercase letters are all over 2, and then the rest of the words, all the rest of the letters are over 1. So that's going to be fun. And it says, "Firm as a rock the soul shall rest that leans, O Lord, on thee." And way over here, I've talked about all this before, but she ran out of room to write thee, and so she put it right over top of the word on, and it's just fun. So yeah, this is just, let's see, 28 count. I don't remember the exact color. I think it's either flax or natural, but just a very, very basic, naturally colored linen. And I am just having so much fun with this. It's so cool to do a family history piece that has so much meaning. Okay, one more cross stitch. I just dropped something, just a second. Okay. I started, I don't have a preview or what it's going to look like. I didn't print it out, but Modern Folk Embroidery, Japanese Hiragana sampler. And this is where I'm at. This is only like 2 or 3 days of work, and I'm already like halfway done. This is working up to be a lot smaller and just working a lot faster than I anticipated, which is actually kind of fun. I thought it was going to be a big project, and it's not. It's going to be done fairly quickly, and it's just so cute and pretty. And my daughter Zaylee is pretty excited about it because she is learning Japanese, and especially the hiragana alphabet. There's 2, and I'm also going to stitch the katakana because that's one that I learned in the 7th grade. I've forgotten like all of katakana except for how to write my name, but I'm going to stitch it anyway, and I'm going to relearn it, and I might even try to learn hiragana. So yeah, it's so pretty. I obviously changed the colors. I forgot what the green is. It's like, it's one of the 3000s. But it's just a nice dark green. The purple is, it's a silk. It's Gumnut Yarns Stars. Here's the label that, let's see. I don't know if it's going to focus. It's not going to focus. There. Gumnut Yarns. 100% pure silk, hand dyed in Australia, and this is number 293, and it's this really pretty, lightly variegated purple. So that's the one that I'm stitching the hiragana sampler in, and I have a Gumnut Yarns pink color that I'm going to do the katakana sampler in once I'm done with hiragana, and I'm stitching that 2/1 on 18 count. All right, so that's all of the cross stitching stuff. Oh, no, one more thing. I did finish and send my Biscornu for the Great Biscornu Swap, and it was in the at the post office, and sent off. And I was driving home and I realized I forgot to take pictures. So I have my laptop logged into Facebook to show the picture that my partner posted when she received it. So that's the Biscornu I made. And that yellow bird fabric, that was a little zipper pouch, and I filled it with chocolate. So that's that. I also received my Biscornu from my partner, and here it is. It's so pretty, very patriotic, and it's so sweet. I love it. She stuffed hers really well. Like the one I sent, it's not stuffed as well. I'm not good at stuffing because I know you're supposed to like overstuff basically, and then it's just right. I can't bring myself to do it sometimes. So I think I just get impatient. But yeah, so here's the Biscornu that she sent. And this is actually, my partner was Jen from Jen's Stitching Niche. So that was really fun. I also received from her this really pretty card. And these beeswax buttons. That's fun. Some Lady Dot Creates trim. It's limited edition, and it's just like really pretty dark blue. And a needle holder, and then I don't know if this is going to show up, but these 2 little wooden charms in the shape of scissors. So that was the Biscornu swap. Okay, Now I showed Audrey's embroidery. Now I get to show mine. I intended to do a lot more, but I've only done one little motif thing, and it is this pig, cute little piggy. It is so cute. I had fun with that. So I have a whole bunch of fabric, like lots. So I have a book of vintage embroidery designs, and I'm going to be stitching up a whole bunch of them and turning it into a quilt eventually. So that's fun. So one down and numerous more to go. All right. One other craft that I worked on was many years ago. I started making a bunch of quilt blocks. We had a quilting group in our the ladies. Why can't I talk? The ladies in our church congregation. There we go. We had a quilting group, and we met once a month and did quilt blocks. Well, I pulled them out today because recently. I'm going on a tangent. It is what it is. I'm teaching my preschooler the alphabet, and we were working on the letter Q, and so I wanted to show him things that started with the letter Q, and so I was like, oh, I have quilt blocks. So I got them out, and I showed him all the quilt blocks, and that got me excited about finishing this quilt that I never finished. I mean, I still have a few blocks left to make, and anyway, so I measured my quilt blocks. They were all supposed to be like finished size of 12 inches, so total, like before putting them together as blocks, basically the blocks right now should be 12.5 inches squared, and I was not good at keeping to a scant 1/4 inch seam, and so like all of my blocks were too small. And so to make them the right size and all be like a consistent size with each other, I decided I was going to sew strips of fabric on all the sides, just sort of coordinating colors, fabrics, whatever, to each quilt block. And yeah, enough talking. Let's show the blocks that I've done so far. I don't remember what each of these is called. Each one of these blocks, of course, has a name, but so to this one I added this sort of wood-looking brown. I think it's the same that I had used in here. So there's one. Not sure where I'm going to be stacking everything. This one, one of these I'm going to have to take off a couple of the sides and patch it together and restitch it because I didn't measure properly, and it's not going to be fully 12.5 inches on the corners. I don't remember which one. So yeah, there's this one. I like browns, but you will see these are not all browns. I just did the browns first, obviously. And here's this one. So again, these are all blocks that I pieced years ago, and so all I did with these was sew the sashing around the edges to make it the right size. Oh, this is the one. This is the one where in order to get it 12.5 inches, this corner is cut off, or this corner is cut off. So so I have to take off some of the edges, sew them longer, and then put them back on. So there's this one. This is fun. It's got stripes going all sorts of different directions. Really tiny stripes. You know what? You aren't going to see any besides the brown. All I did was the brown ones. Next time I show some, I will have some that are not at all brown. this is it's going to be a sampler quilt of a whole bunch of different colors and patterns and stuff. And I guess I just did all the browns first, but there's a lot more color. This one. So that is the quilting stuff that I did. I think I have a total of 33 blocks. No, 31 blocks. Anyway, I've decided I'm going to do a total of 36 and put them together into a 6x6 quilt that will, with the sashing and everything, and the borders, it will end up being the perfect size for our queen size bed. So yeah, I'm going to be doing more quilty sewing, and I have like all the colors and all the fabrics picked out for the blocks. It's just, it ends up feeling like more work than it actually is to get it put together. But anyway. Okay, a few brief life updates. If you're not interested in life updates, then thank you for stopping by. I got my second dose of COVID vaccine, so I'm fully vaccinated, and it didn't make me sick or anything. I had a really sore arm, fairly sore, and I think I was like tired that day, but yeah, it was really mild symptoms or side effects. We had a variety of family visits. One of my sisters came with her family and spent a few days with us, and she just had a baby like a few months ago, and he was so tiny and squishy and cute, and it was just fun to hold him and then give him back when it was time to eat, for him to eat or have a diaper change. So that part was fun too. Oh, he was just so cute. So baby.
Cute.
My brother stopped by. We don't get to see this brother very often. He is a Marine and is, you know, off busy doing Marine things, and so it was fun to see him for a little bit. And then we went up to Idaho because my older sister, different sister, I have 4 sisters and 3 brothers. So she and her husband were having a recommitment ceremony, sort of in honor of their 20th anniversary that's coming up this year. And so we went and attended that. It was very small, very informal, mostly just family, and it was really nice. We just had, you know, we had sandwiches and cupcakes, and yeah, it was it was nice to see them. Let's see. Hey, Audrey, do you want to go get Gingersnap? Go, go, go. So Audrey's hamster, Gingersnap, for several months, he had a growth on his paw. It started out, it just looked like a little red blood blister or something, and we were like, oh, it's going to heal. He'll be fine. But it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and it was like compared to his paw, it was half the size of his paw. It was huge. So we finally had that looked at by a vet, and ended up having it removed. There were 3 options that he gave us. We could either just leave it alone and maybe at a future point when it was like really bothering him, we could have it removed, or he would just chew it off, because apparently hamsters will chew their feet off if there's something wrong with them. Wow. So that was option number 1, leave it alone. Option number 2 was just remove the mass and hope that he left his foot alone. But again, there was a possibility that he would chew it off. And option 3 was remove his leg up to the elbow. And we were like, oh, those are some options. Okay. We ended up just having the mass removed. So he took the mass and the toes. So now on his little front paw, he's only got 3 toes instead of 4. And Audrey's going to bring him up and show how cute he is, because he's just darling. He did, in fact, leave his foot alone and let it heal. So everything is fine. He's not chewing any feet off. And he took his antibiotics and pain meds really well. It was like a syringe that we would squirt into his mouth, and he's just like, nah, 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 nah. He's fun. While she's down there, this is not a small update. It's actually kind of like been earth-shatteringly huge in my life, but I'm not going to make a huge deal out of it on this channel. Those who have been with me for a while may remember that. Okay, I'll have to share it later, because here comes Gingersnap. Okay, come here. Here he is. Say hello. Hi. He's so cute. Hello. Isn't he darling? He's the long-haired Syrian. So sweet.
So where's there?
So now you have him in the shadow. There
Sorry.
we go. He's so cute. We just love him. And
First hamster we ever had.
yeah, there are 3 other hamsters. They're smaller. I have Marshmallow and Beetle and Snazzy Jazz, but yeah, they aren't gonna come out. So yeah, he's so cute. He was such a good boy. He did not chew on his foot. He left it alone and let it heal. And he's just so soft and sweet and cute. I know for a while I kept promising I'm going to post hamster footage and stuff, and I just don't let him fall. I don't know if I'm ever going to get around to piecing together the hamster footage that I have. But maybe I'll have the other hamsters make appearances, and Gingersnap too, every once in a while on my videos. It's easier that way. I just say, hey, go get the hamster. Okay, go put him away. Or go play with him downstairs, okay?
Yeah. He's so cute.
He's so fun. We love having him and the other hamsters. They're very sweet. She's gonna get him a Whimsies chew?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, take it downstairs. So how's life been with you guys? Well, I should think of a question to put in the well, for you to like answer in the comments or something. I should have thought of this beforehand, but I did not anticipate wanting to. What is your current obsession, if you have one? Like, what are you just like super into right now? For me, it is a lot of things actually. Streaming opera from metopera.org. Or was it .com? I think it's .org. I have been really enjoying watching opera. And let's see. I am super into watching videos about junk journaling, like making junk journals. And I'm going to be making an altered book junk journal at some point soon. I've started it, but it's not enough to like show and say, look at this, because it's really just a book with pages torn out and other pages glued together. So once that gets further along, then I can show that. So that is what I'm all into right now, is opera and junk journal stuff. Okay, so what I was going to share earlier. Those who have been with me for a while might remember that last year my daughter Zaylee was diagnosed with autism level 1. So high functioning, what would previously have been referred to as Asperger's before the DSM-5. I'm doing a video. Go away. When I was researching autism and how it shows up in females, and especially as females get older when they have autism and stuff, I realized that I relate to a lot of it as well. My focus at the time was finding answers about Zaylee. But in the back of my mind, I was just like, what if So this year I went ahead and had my own neuropsychological evaluation, and last week I received a diagnosis of autism. I am autistic. Blah. It was surreal finding out, like over the months of researching and waiting for the various appointments and stuff. I became fairly convinced that yes, I probably am autistic because everything just fits so well. But having it official and having a paper, a big bunch of papers with a DSM-5 diagnostic overview, autism spectrum disorder, as well as like anxiety and depression, which I already knew. So yeah, I'm autistic. And it turns out that crafting is not just a hobby with me, it's my special interest. And has been like various forms of crafting, and so crafting is a special interest for me, or in the DSM-5 it's referred to as restrictive interest, but I like special interest or superpower, that kind of thing, much better. And music as well is a special interest. So that happened, and yeah. So any of you who have met me in real life and observed my behavior around real people instead of a camera, you might be like, oh, that's why she's so quiet and doesn't make eye contact and is a little bit oddball, and yeah, that's me. So like I said, I'm not going to make a huge deal out of it on this channel. Might not even mention it again anyway, but for those who stuck around and were interested, now you know a little bit more about me. I know a little bit more about myself, and it's been an interesting process trying to just process it. But yeah, I'm gonna end it there. As far as plans go, like I said, I wanted to finish those 3 projects. I'm of course going to continue with Mary Alice Cannon, and probably going to finish Hiragana Sampler fairly quickly, and then just whatever else I feel like stitching on when I feel like stitching on it. I'm not doing Mania per se. I don't have planned starts. There's things that I would like to start still, but yeah, I'm just gonna stitch what I want when I want. I hope everybody has a wonderful day and happy stitching. Bye.